everyone out there in YouTube. I've got a new video this month about card readers. Recently, I just bought the SumUp Reader with the charging dock. So I'm going to be talking about why I've bought this reader recently, because for the past year, I've been using Zettle. And I just want to talk about the differences between this one and the Zettle. And I also slightly want to talk about SumUp Solo, because I was considering buying that one as well. So the way I want to break down this video is why I've bought the SumUp Reader, how that works, all the different little features, and then sort of do a compare and contrast between the SumUp and the Zettle and which one might be best for you. Because I think they're both great card readers, but definitely I think some of them have their perks and differences. Well, not differences, just some of them have their own perks. And I think it would help people to know just what the differences are and just what to expect. Because I think there's a lot of people who, especially who buy the SumUp Solo, they have different expectations, and it's not exactly what they thought it was going to be. So I just kind of want to talk briefly about, all these different readers that are out there. Okay, so I want to talk about why I bought the SumUp Solo. No, I didn't get the Solo, I got the Air. Now, recently I've done a show in Scotland called Merchant City Festival. It was in Glasgow. And, 5 days before my show, I decided, oh, let me check my Zettle and make sure everything's working smoothly. Because since moving from the US to the UK, I couldn't just simply use the same PayPal account unless I was going to charge everyone US dollars, which that's not what I wanted to do. So in order to get, British pounds on there and everything, I had to then basically make new PayPal accounts. I had to make a new PayPal account and a new Zettle account. And I was not approved on the Zettle just yet. I still had to submit documents. You have to, I don't know if it's a new thing because I don't really remember doing that in the US. And I remember speaking to one lady at the show, and she was like, really? You have to get approved? I don't remember ever having to verify your account, but yeah, you have to verify your account on the Zettle. And in order to do that, you've got to upload ID, something like a passport, driver's license, or you've got to upload maybe, and then you also have to upload a document proof of your location. So basically that was sort of like a bank statement, which I'll be honest, I don't get bank statements. I don't know who really today in 2022 is getting bank statements. Most banks want you to be paperless. And that's kind of what put me off of just getting that thing approved. It's not that I don't mind doing approvals or verifications, that's fine. I just wished it was a little bit more simplified, just because you already have to, if I'm understanding Zettle correctly, I don't think you can have a Zettle account without having a PayPal account. And the fact that I'm already I have a business account on PayPal, and I'm already verified on that platform, it's kind of funny that now PayPal owns Zettle, and it's like you still have to approve yourself on that platform. So basically, I had to approve myself twice, even though they currently own Zettle. Doesn't make any sense. So this was 5 days out from the show, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this right now. I just need to hurry up and have a system to start charging people, because there's no way you can just go to a show these days and just say, I'm only doing cash. That's ridiculous. I think it's crazy when other people do it. You need to have a card reader. So I remember just going to different markets earlier and seeing people use SumUp. And I also remember going into a WH Smith and seeing the SumUp readers. Now, if you do want it a little bit cheaper, I think, so actually I'll talk about the price. So I think if you just get the reader without the dock, I want to say it's about 30 pounds just for like this little bit right here. And then basically it's another 10 for the dock. It's not that necessary to have the dock if you're like unsure about it. I just think personally, instead of like having this laying flat, on a table, or maybe having this like in your pocket, or I don't know, constantly like carrying it around, to me, it's just easier to have it in a little charging dock, and it'll kind of like face up towards a customer. I just think it looks better that way. So 40 pounds for this, and I think that's a pretty good deal. If you want it slightly cheaper, I think you can go to the SumUp website, and it'll be slightly cheaper than going to like a WH Smith. And then I think if you want it even a little bit more cheaper than that, if you're lucky, I think sometimes Amazon runs limited deals, and you can probably get this whole thing for, I want to say maybe 30 pounds. Yeah, 20, 30 pounds. It's pretty crazy. I think 30 if you just go on Amazon and hope that they're running a limited deal. There usually are. So, but anyway, I was in a rush. I didn't even want to chance it with Amazon. I went ahead and just went to the WH Smith store and picked that up. I know if you go there as well, they sell the Solo. I think they sell the Air with the charger, and the Solo. I'm not sure if they sell the really big 3G one. So I went ahead, picked it up, went home, signed up on sumup.com, or actually I think it's sumup.co.uk, and it was really easy to sign up. There was like no verification process. I didn't have to submit any documents. Apparently they do check your address, but I don't know. I think these people just like make sure you have a valid address. Like, that's it. I think they're probably just checking like on Google Maps and just, tick like, yeah, that's a location. It's real. So it was pretty easy. It was like literally, I'm talking about like 5 or 10 minutes. And these people give you everything that you need to set up a business. Technically speaking, like you could sign up to the website and not even need the reader. Because here's what's really good about SumUp. When I signed up, I realized, first of all, they give you a MasterCard. So when you put your address in, they ship out to you a SumUp MasterCard. I guess it's probably more similar. It's probably like the PayPal business card. So it's probably just like a little debit card. Then also on their website, you can do invoices. And here's like the big bonus, which I don't even know why SumUp doesn't even talk about it. They give you a website, which I think is really neat. Your website name will be like whatever your business name would be. So I think technically mine is sdl.sumupshop.co.uk. You can also, if you own a domain, I already own a domain for my personal website. So you can even come up with a new name for your shop, which I think I did. I think I did mine as shop.shonday.com. And so anything that you put in your inventory, and there is a little option to check on and off if you want it to show up in your online store, you can have a SumUp shop. And I just thought that was absolutely brilliant. I was like, holy crap. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. That's the crazy thing. You would think like, oh, like getting a website out of these people would cost you money. No, pretty much anytime that they charge, like when there's a credit card transaction, like I guess they just take fees out. That's it. And even then, if you do like a QR code, when you do I think that's when the only time they don't actually take fees. So just a little tip in mind. So everything was going great. I used the reader during the festival. It was a 3-day festival. It went well. It's pretty fast. I downloaded the app. You do need the app when using the SumUp Air. I'm a little unsure if you can use the app on the 3G one, and then on the SumUp Air, it doesn't require the app at all. So I was enjoying this product so much. One thing about doing some of these shows, you always need a backup plan. And it did actually happen to one lady next to me who was using the Zettle. I think either her app broke or like her reader broke or something like that. And I briefly like ran over to her. I was like, oh, hey, just charge the customer on my thing and I'll send you it later. I'll send you the money later. So, I've been recently thinking about getting a second reader just simply as a backup one. Just as like, if things go down, I've got another backup reader. And that's why I've been looking into the Solo. Now, here's where I slowly started to get like a little bit disappointed with SumUp. Um, so I think most people who unfortunately, the reason why I wanted the Solo was because you can put a SIM card in there and you can connect to it via Wi-Fi. I think what most people thought it was going to be, I think a lot of people thought the SumUp Solo was going to be a replacement for their phone. In other words, I think they thought that the app was basically going to appear on the SumUp Solo screen, if that makes sense. And it's not like that at all. I think the way the SumUp Solo works is basically, if you can imagine this being the SumUp Solo, you have to input your price or whatever, and then like it's not like going through the app and going through your catalog of inventory. There's no way to track inventory of that. There's nothing. It's just you put in the price, you say maybe the description. I don't even know how you say that. I think there's probably text on there somehow, and that's it. And there's other little quirks about the Solo, or not the Solo, but SumUp in general. When using the SumUp Air and the app, I know for me, like, so one thing that I would say the differences between that and the Zettle was, let's say I have a deal, which is, hey, buy this little mini artwork for £10, and that bookmark that cost £3 now is £1. Well, there's no way to do discounts in the SumUp app. So if I have an item in my shop called maybe this artwork, and I've got another one called bookmarks or whatever, and I put them in the basket. Let's just say I want to then go ahead and discount maybe £2. There's no way to discount it. It's just, that's what it is. You're either going to have to just input that again or do like a new variant. Problem is then it just gets in the way with doing proper, what's it called? Like proper stock, like checking what your inventory is. And those are like the small tiny things about SumUp that I didn't like. I didn't like the fact that I couldn't really do proper discounts without it messing up my inventory, or going back in and like changing the inventory of one of my things. And of course, then looking into the SumUp Solo, I was a bit disappointed that it, you're just punching in the numbers and, just charging people. I think that one is really good if maybe, like, I think someone gave the example of maybe if you're like a ticket booth or a ticket stand and, you just have the same price and you could probably just keep it there or whatever. But for me, I think for anyone who probably has different prices going on and maybe a big inventory, I'm not sure how much people want to really sit there and like input a number and then like, here, now you can charge me, or it's just, I don't know, it's just not really what I wanted to do. I wanted it to be, something that kind of looked like the app. Which then I guess it'll go into, I'll then talk about Zettle. So I've been using that platform for a year. I've been using PayPal. I've been using the Zettle Reader for the past year. And yeah, when it just comes to little stuff like that, I think that's where the Zettle slash PayPal Zettle, I think that's where it's just like a little bit better than SumUp. I think just having little perks like, being able to check the inventory, or not check the inventory, but being able to track your inventory because you're doing maybe different like discounts and stuff like that. I just think that's a really good bonus. Just wanted to show you how the discounts worked in the Zettle. So as you can see, I'm going to add the bookmarks and then maybe 2 other items. If I go to my cart, they do have a generic discounts that you can add, 5, 10, and 15%. But you can also add in your own discount. So you can do something maybe like 25%. Or you can do something like, you can just do a price off of it, maybe £3 off. And you can even add in a description of maybe why you gave a discount. Maybe it's another vendor. So you can type that in and it'll apply the discount to the overall cart. If for whatever reason you needed to do a discount on maybe certain individual items, you could always go into that item and apply a discount. You can even say why, maybe new customer. And so it will do -5 and then also -3 on your overall cart. And you can just do all types of things. You can, maybe this one is a 10% discount. And that can be applied too. So I just wanted to show the different ways of how a discount can be added into your cart through Zettle. And that's pretty much like the main reason of why I finally got the documents to be approved of this bad boy again. So I'm probably going to be using this one again because, yeah, I just think the Zettle is a better app. And then on top of all that, they've recently came out with I think it's called Zettle Terminal, which the Zettle Terminal, just imagine this but like a phone almost. And it is from a demo of what I saw on someone's YouTube. It's basically you're taking the app that's on your phone and it's been put onto one of their PayPal devices. So it's literally the app on your phone. You can scroll through your inventory and and do your whole thing without your phone. Because again, like I said, when doing these shows, and yes, you can put a SIM card into these the Zettle terminal. So as I've mentioned, doing these shows, you never know what's gonna happen. And me personally, I would rather just have a backup device. I would rather have something like my phone and my Zettle, and I'd rather have like a Zettle terminal, and just to make sure, because everyone's going to be using the Wi-Fi. Who knows, you might be in a location where either Wi-Fi or a phone signal is not that good, and I'd rather just have more than one device to rely on, me personally. And like I said, I've seen it before at shows where somebody's phone isn't working, or it's ran out of charge, or whatever the case may be, and then suddenly they can't take a payment. I've seen it one too many times, and you just never want that at a show. So I'm probably one day I'm gonna bite the bullet and buy that terminal. Now I will say it is expensive, so if you're looking into getting something like the Zettle, I think the dock, if it's like your first time, they discount it, and I think you can get the dock for £30. But I think normal price, I think I said the dock, but I think I meant the Zettle. Just this alone, let me see if I can take it out. Well, just this part right here is about £30 if it's like your first one. And then I think regular price is like £50. And then the dock, I can't remember the dock. I think it's like might be another 30-50. That's one thing I will say is the differences between the two is the barrier to entry. It is pricey. And there's almost no other way to get the Zettle. I think maybe you can get this one on Amazon if you're lucky. But for the most part, yeah, PayPal wants you to buy it through PayPal. So, unless you're going to buy it used or go on eBay or something like that, the price is what it is, and there's not going to be any other option. And yeah, you're going to have to wait for it to get sent to you. Same goes for the Zettle terminal. I was looking at that with the dock, and that's basically 200 pounds. It's expensive. It's not cheap at all. So, in other words, which one will be best for your business? Because I do think both of them are great readers. And right, so there's really no point in me having two completely different ones. So I'll talk about maybe some benefits with the SumUp Air and who this is meant for. I think this is really good if you want something that's affordable, like maybe it's your first time selling or your first show, whatever. I think maybe if you want things like if you want a free website of your products, like I'm probably going to give this to my cousin because I've been encouraging him to sell flapjacks. So I think this is good for maybe first time sellers. I think this is good even for people who probably don't have like a big inventory or who probably aren't going to do a lot of discounts. And I think this is like good for those people, like first timers. Maybe you want everything set up for you. You'll have a website. You can do all your invoices, things like that. Yeah, I think this is good for first time sellers, people who just want to try it out and see if they maybe like doing like markets and shows like that. And like I said, if you want to make it really cheap, just buy yourself this little device, and then that's it. You really don't need the dock. It's, for me, that was just like a bonus. Yeah, a big bonuses to SumUp. I really think it's cool that they give you a website. I think it's cool that they give you a card. Side note, it's been like almost 3 weeks and I haven't gotten mine yet. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure my address was inputted correctly. The really big negative I could say about SumUp is that their customer service is complete trash. If you call them, good luck. They're never answering the phone. I think your best shot is to go online, do the little chat thing, and even then, like, right, because they tried to throw that whole bot thing at you. Eventually, after a couple times, I was like, you know what? Agent. I want an agent. I'm not even going to tell you what my problem is. Give me an agent now. And even then, I had to wait probably about 10, 15, like, I don't know. It was quite a while, 10, maybe 15-ish minutes. It was a good while before like an agent would even speak to me. So, and even then I kind of felt like, even when I said what my problem was, even when I said, hey, you guys keep claiming that your cards show up 6 to 10 days. I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. I think maybe you've got to like, maybe change my address. Maybe, because I put Rutherglen instead of Glasgow. And still, I just kind of felt like I was just being blown off. They're just like, oh, well, give it another week. It's coming all the way from like Poland. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll give it another week to see if it actually comes or not. So, yeah, that's the only like mega like thing I could really say about SumUp. Their customer service is complete trash. Yeah, you can't do discounts or anything like that in the app. And then, of course, with the SumUp Air, I really feel bad for people who bought that one, that was probably their first reader, because I think they were probably hoping that it was gonna be like basically using the app but on the reader, and it's not like that at all. You basically are just punching in numbers and just handing it off to people so they can tap their card in there. It's gonna be nothing like the Zettle terminal, which to me makes more sense, putting the app on the device and giving a SIM card. I do know with the solo reader, it does get free updates. Maybe down the road, maybe if enough people can complain, they'll be like, okay, here's the app on the device. That would make more sense. Somehow I don't see that happening. I see them probably just making a new reader and then putting it on there. If it really wasn't for that, honestly, I would have just jumped ship. I would have just been using SumUp because I really do like it. I really like the fact that, like I said, you get a website. If you have a domain, you can change the domain. But looking into trying getting a second device just as like a backup, and then realizing like, oh, that one doesn't exactly work the way I thought it was going to work. Yeah, and then of course, finally getting the documents to get my Zettle approved. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go back to my Zettle. I'll give this one to my cousin. That way he can start a new business. And like I said, we're going to use all those little different perks. We're going to use the perks of, having a link to his shop and putting it in his Instagram and things like that. He would be a first-time seller, so like that device would be fine for him. Yeah, and I think anyone who wants to use something like Zettle, I think this is the best one you can get. Sorry, I don't know anything about Square, unfortunately. I've never used that before. But as far as comparing this to SumUp, yeah, I think the app just beats it just by like a little bit more. Like, not that much, but just like a little bit. And yeah, so I'll be going back to this since I've, got up and running. I think downsides to Zettle would be things like having to approve your account through, and again, I don't mind approving my account. I just think make it a little easier. Like, why do I need a bank statement? Like, it just seems silly to and I think it specifically had to be a bank statement because I think they also needed to see maybe it didn't have to be a bank statement. I know I was trying to use like maybe like an Amazon invoice and that still wasn't going through. So I just went ahead and got a bank statement because I knew that would work. But yeah, I think if it was just a little easier to like get that approval process, then it would be fine. But knowing that I've got to go get like some little statement, like I rarely get any kind of mail. Like I don't really have any bills sent to me. Companies, they're all trying to go paperless. So to say that I have to go and scan in a bill that's like at least 3 months old, I don't think I've ever even gotten a bill from my phone company. So I don't really have bills being sent to me. Like I said, I'm renting out a flat and it's not even in my name. So yeah, I just think if getting approved on this device was a little easier, just maybe not tell me I need a bank statement. Maybe just be like, at least show us your ID or passport, because more than likely I'll have that in hand. But I'm not, like a bill, I'm not going to have that in hand, unfortunately. Like, I don't really get bills sent to me. Other downsides I can see, it is a little, I wouldn't even say a little bit pricier. I mean, we're talking about 30 pounds versus, we're talking about 30, 40 pounds, depending if you get the dock or not, versus potentially almost 70 to 100 pounds. Like I said, I think when you get the reader for the first time, they do discount it to about 30, and then I think the dock is like another 50. So 5, 6, 7, 70, 80 pounds. If I were to get like a second one of these, pointless. It would cost me, I think, almost 100 pounds to get it. Well, actually, technically, it would still be cheap because, like I said, I had to make a new Zettle account. So I still have one more reader that I technically could buy, but I think I'd rather just save up and get the PayPal terminal, because that's now where I'm starting to look towards, is having something that will be will have a SIM card, the app will be there, and I can just use that instead of pulling out my phone. Because again, another point someone made, they were tired of whipping out their phone and basically smashing it probably up against the desk or something, or dropping it. So that's also another good point of having something like that. Great customer service though. Like, yeah, you'll definitely get these people on the phone if you have any issues. I can't really think of any too many negatives, to be honest with you. Like, other positives would be this, because it's PayPal, there's a lot of integrations versus SumUp, I think there's like zero integrations with anything. So like I know with PayPal, like it's integrated with my website. I think at one point I had it set up to where whenever I made a new item on my website, it would post it to my Zettle account on my app, and it would like, I would link it to my Facebook and my Instagram. So yeah, that's like another really strong bonus that people probably haven't considered, is that there's a lot of integrations with PayPal because it's PayPal. It's the bigger company. And they've been around for a long time, so they have stuff like that. So if you're looking for different integrations, maybe it integrates with like maybe like your QuickBooks or something, or I use like WordPress. So maybe when you make a new item on your website, it's then sending it to your your app. Which I think the way I have it set up is it all kind of goes through like WooCommerce. Pretty good stuff. So I would say like maybe their strong point is all the different integrations and being able to do discounts. I think if you have a bigger inventory and if you really need to keep track of your inventory, this might be the device for you. Other than that, again, great devices. I would say if you're starting out, really go for this one. I like the fact that you can just go to a local WH Smith store and pick this up. Where this one, you've got to at least wait maybe a few days, probably a week to get it. So those are the big differences. I hope that helps. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything, or if you just have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll check it out. If I was wrong about anything, you can let me know as well. As far as I think who charges more, I think they're both about the same. Like I think SumUp is maybe like 1.6, and I don't think Zettle is that far off either. And to be honest with you, even if SumUp did charge a little bit more, I mean, considering the fact that you can have a website and it's a bit customizable, I'm kind of not mad about it. So yeah, leave a comment below of what you think about this video. There's more to come, and I'll talk to you guys later, okay? Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.